But here's the story they tell about the first Rebbe of Chabad, that he went to learn by the Maggid of Mezrich. Now, the Maggid of Mezrich, he was the successor of the Baal Shem Tov, and the Baal Shem teaches the Baal Shem Tov, and his pupils were very, very rejected by what was called normal Judaism at that time. Normal Judaism at that time was very austere, and they were great Talmudic scholars, very holy people, but they hated the idea of the Hasidim that put a big stress on loving every Jew and on being emotional to God, and etc. Other aspects as well. Learning about the secret ideas of Kabbalah, Chassidut, Chabad, especially they opposed it. Anyway, so the first Rebbe of Chabad, he married into a family that the family was very, very opposed to the Hasidic way, very opposed, tremendously opposed. And nevertheless, he tried to learn by the others. He was a genius. And he heard that there was this Maggid of Mezrich, so he went over there and he learned by him. And he discovered that that's where he wanted to be. That's where he wanted to be. That was for him. So he came back home, and his father-in-law was very, very angry with him, tremendously angry. How could you do a thing like that? And there's stories about how he locked him out of the house on Passover or whatever, and he had anyway, different stories. No, that wasn't Passover. He locked him out of the house on one Shabbat. I think he locked him out of the house. he did not good things. Finally, when his father-in-law realized that the Hasidim were really not all the bad things that they were accused of being, that all those accusations were false, so he said he had already evicted the Rebbe, Alter Rebbe, from his house. It was his son-in-law. He and his daughter, they were. So he said, I want you to come back. So the Alter Rebbe said, to come back to your house, I know it'll be very comfortable. It'll be very good. I said, but I can't come back. What is it like? A baby, when the baby is in the womb of the mother, so it's very comfortable over there. But once it comes out into the world, it can't go back. It doesn't want to go back again to the world. He realizes it's too limited over there. He says, I've already gone out. I become a chassid, and I'm attached to the Rebbe. I'm in a whole new dimension of reality. I can't go back to your house. But I jumped the gun. That's the end of the story. Here's the beginning of the story. When he came back the first time, the first Rebbe of Chabad, so his father-in-law was very angry at him, and he asked him, why did you go to those people? What did you do over there? So he said, over there, I learned that God creates the world. That God exists and creates the world. I said, what? That's what you went over there? I mean, everybody knows that. Here, the simple maidservant knows that. She called the maidservant. Who creates the world? So she said, the Eibishter, God creates the world. He said, see, she also says that God creates the world. The Rebbe, Alter Rebbe, said, she says it, but I know it. That's the difference. I also used to say that God creates the world, but I didn't know it. It didn't come into my intimate value system. What I really hold to be precious, what really moves me, is not the fact that God created the world. That was before I went to the Rebbe. Now I go to the Rebbe, that I know it. Knowing means to be intimately aware. It's the most important thing in my life to know that God creates the world. Not just saying it. Have a good day with Mashiach. Now, see you all tomorrow.